The morning is a battlefield, and most men, they wake up already defeated. They roll over, grab their phones, scroll through the noise of a world that doesn't care. Emails, debts, regrets. Before their feet even touch the floor, they've already surrendered their mind, and then they wonder why the rest of the day owns them. But not you, not today. Because the truth is, how you start your morning is how you build your life. That first decision, it's a statement, a declaration. It's the difference between drifting like a ghost or rising like a warrior. Let me ask you, when was the last time you woke up with fire in your chest? Not panic, not anxiety, but purpose. When was the last time you stared at the mirror and said, I am not done, I am not broken, I am rebuilding? This is not a motivational speech, this is war talk. Because if you're a man who's ever tasted failure, the kind that burns, humiliates, leaves you on your knees, then you know the battle isn't out there, it's inside. And the battlefield is your morning. You have one chance every single day to reclaim yourself, not with perfection, but with one action, one choice, one moment of defiance against the drift. You've fallen. Good. Get up. You've been lost. Then today, you find direction. You've been weak. Then today, you fight. This isn't about hype. This is about habit. Discipline is the edge, and it starts now. Before we go deeper, I want to know something. Where are you watching from? What city are you standing in right now? Drop it in the comments. Let me know where the warriors are waking up. Because if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. And this is how we rise. The first hour of your day is not just a window. It is a weapon. Most men, they surrender it before they even realize what they're doing. They wake up into chaos, notifications, demands, comparison. They let the world speak before they speak to themselves. And just like that, their power is gone. Napoleon Hill said, self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. That's not poetry. That's survival. Because if you don't own your mind, someone else will. If you don't lead it, it will follow whatever's loudest, and the loudest thing out there is fear. So how do warriors begin their day? Not with noise, not with reaction, but with command. You open your eyes and you speak not to the world, but to your soul. You say, this is who I am. This is what I will do. This is what I stand for. You program your identity before anyone else gets a chance to rewrite it. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. That kind of clarity didn't come from luck. It came from control, daily, intentional, mental control. The first hour is not just about routine. It's about reclaiming your crown, because the way you begin is the way you become. Now let's talk about the ritual that separates the weak from the warriors. Doing one hard thing first. Why? Because your brain wants comfort. It craves it. And every time you choose something difficult, you are training it to obey strength, not surrender to softness. Edison failed over 1,000 times before he succeeded. 1,000. But each time, he didn't quit. He didn't delay. He didn't wait for motivation. He acted first. Hard, daily. That's your model. You want to rebuild your life. Don't wait for the mood. Don't wait for the right weather or the perfect playlist. Pick one hard thing, a cold shower, a 2-kilometer run, 5 minutes of absolute silence, writing one painful truth in a journal, and do it with all your intensity. It's not about the task. It's about what it builds. Every time you start the day with discipline, you declare, I'm in control. That declaration becomes habit. Habit becomes identity, and identity becomes destiny. You want to be a warrior? Then start with war. Fight your own weakness before the world even wakes up. A warrior doesn't go into battle without sharpening his blade. And your sharpest weapon, your clarity, your ability to see through the fog inside your own mind. Every morning, your brain wakes up like a battlefield. Thoughts flying in, emotions colliding, worries, regrets, half-forgotten dreams all charging at once. And if you don't take control of them, they will control you. That's why you write, not because you're a writer, but because you're a man at war with confusion, and clarity is your advantage. Napoleon Hill put it perfectly. Your mind is a garden. Writing is how you prune it. Let that hit. Every thought you leave unexamined becomes a weed. Doubt, distraction, hesitation. But every time you sit, pick up a pen, and write even just a sentence, you are taking back the territory of your mind. 5 minutes. That's all it takes. Write your fears. Write your goals. Write what you're angry about. Write what you want to feel today. This isn't about journaling for self-help. This is strategy. This is clarity through action. Hill studied the greatest men of history. Marcus Aurelius wrote morning meditations to align his spirit. Abraham Lincoln jotted down fragmented thoughts before shaping them into legacy. Edison sketched chaos into invention. They all knew this. The mind is powerful, but untrustworthy when left alone. So they anchored it in ink. You must do the same. When you write, you do 3 things. You slow down the noise. You see what's real, not just what's loud. You program your subconscious with direction, not doubt. And that small act each morning, it builds up. It turns mental fog into mental focus. It changes your story from, I feel lost, to I know exactly where I'm going. Don't just think your way into power. Write your way into it. Because when your thoughts are clear, your decisions are sharp. And when your decisions are sharp, your actions cut deeper. That's how warriors build momentum, not with hype, but with handwriting. Pick up the pen, write like your future depends on it. Because it does. A warrior doesn't wake up and stay still. He moves. Not to look strong, but because movement is how strength is activated. Most men roll out of bed and slump into their day. Shoulders low, breath shallow, eyes dull. And they wonder why their mind feels weak. It's because the body is the first lever of mindset. You want to shift your state. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait to feel good. Move, stand tall. Walk with speed. Drop for 10 push-ups. Stretch until your muscles scream. Sweat. Breathe deeply. Wake your physiology and your psychology will follow. Napoleon Hill taught that self-leadership begins in the mind, but it manifests through the body. You can't lead your day if you can't command your limbs. You can't fight for your future if your posture already signals defeat. Science confirms this. Posture affects hormones. Breathing alters emotion. Motion generates focus, but warriors don't need studies. They know it instinctively. They've lived it. So every morning, before the noise of life steals your fire, claim it physically. You don't need a perfect gym. You don't need an hour. You need 10 minutes of deliberate movement that signals to your system, I'm awake, I'm here, I'm ready to strike. This is your physical declaration that today won't own you. You will own it. And remember, this is not about fitness. This is about freedom. Freedom from fog, freedom from fatigue, freedom from that heavy, dragging version of yourself that waits for energy instead of generating it. Winners move. They don't sit in hesitation. They don't lounge in limitation. They rise. They initiate. They set the tone. So the next time you wake up feeling sluggish, overwhelmed, or defeated, don't reach for caffeine first. Reach for your spine. Straighten it. Move. Roar if you have to. Make your body match the warrior mindset you're building. Because energy is not something you wait for. It's something you create. Most people think gratitude is soft, a feel-good exercise, something you do when life is easy. They're wrong. Gratitude is not weakness. It is a weapon, a blade forged in awareness, a shield against chaos, a declaration of mental sovereignty. Napoleon Hill understood this. He didn't just write about ambition and wealth. He wrote about spiritual wealth, the kind that begins when a man stops focusing on what's missing and starts owning what he already has. He said, no one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Gratitude is that belief in action. Because when you wake up and name your blessings, you're not just being positive, you're reminding your mind, your body, your spirit, I already have strength. I already have reasons to fight. I already have enough to begin. Think about it. The man who rises and complains, I'm tired. Life is unfair. Nothing works for me. What kind of energy does he create? Weakness. He starts from lack. from grievance, from defeat. But the man who says, I've got breath, I've got a mind, I've got another shot, he builds momentum before the day even tests him. You don't need 10 minutes. You need 10 seconds. Every morning, speak 3 truths out loud. Something you're grateful for, someone you love or who loves you, a strength within you that you're committed to use today. It might be your son's laughter, your lungs, your hunger, your memory of a time you overcame. Say it, write it, own it. Because when you focus on what's working, your brain becomes a creator, not a complainer. And creators don't just survive the storm, they shape the sky. Here's what most men miss. Gratitude does not kill hunger. It sharpens it. It turns ambition from desperation into devotion, from greed into grounded power. When you move from I need to prove to I'm here to express, the game changes. You don't seek validation, you bring value. You're not a beggar of fate, you're a steward of gifts. This shift, this inner wealth makes you unshakable because life will hit you again and again. And if you're only fueled by what you don't have yet, you'll collapse. But if you're fueled by what's already inside you, you endure. You create, you command. That's why this ritual matters. Not just once in a while, every damn day. Speak it before the world speaks into you. Say, I am grateful, therefore I am grounded. I have enough, therefore I rise. I am rich in spirit, therefore I move with power. You are not empty. You are equipped. You are not a victim. You are a warrior with resources. Gratitude is not the end of the path. It's the launch pad. It doesn't make you passive. It makes you potent. It's not the end of hunger. It's the reason you fight with clarity. So tomorrow morning, before you chase, before you compare, before you consume, pause, be still. Say your truths. Feel the strength you already carry. And then walk into your day like it belongs to you. Because it does. This is not about routines. This is not about productivity hacks. This is about rebirth. If you failed, if you've lost everything, respect, strength, purpose, know this. You are not rebuilding from scratch. You are rebuilding from scars, from experience, from pain, from truth, and pain. Pain is fuel if you learn how to burn it right. Every morning, you have a window. A sacred moment before the world gets loud. A chance to say, not today. Not today. Will I drift? Not today. Will I surrender? Not today. Will I let my past define me? Because now you know, the morning is where the battle begins. And you've been given the tools of the warrior. Command your mind. Speak who you are before the world tells you who to be. Do one hard thing. Conquer the resistance before it controls your day. Write your truth. Bring form to the chaos inside. Move your body. Generate the energy. Don't wait for it. Name your blessings. Fight from fullness, not from fear. Each act is simple, but none of them are easy, because this path isn't for the soft. It's for the man who's done being lost, the man who refuses to be defined by weakness, the man who decides right here, right now, that the rest of his life will not be a reaction. It will be a declaration. A warrior is not someone who never falls. He is the one who chooses to rise every time. Let others hit snooze. Let others scroll. Let others wait for motivation. But not you. You wake with fire. You act with intention. You fight for clarity. And every morning, when the world is quiet and your doubts try to whisper, you look in the mirror and you say, I am not done. I am not broken. I am rebuilding. I am rising. And this day belongs to me. That is not arrogance. That is alignment. You are not swayed. You are not rushed. You are not at the mercy of noise. You walk with weight. You speak with fire. Because you've chosen your identity before the world offered you one. This is not the end. It is the beginning. One morning at a time. One decision at a time. One hard strike at a time. And when others look back at your story, they won't see the man who fell. They'll see the man who rose again and again and again. This is your mission. This is your code. This is your moment. Lead it before the world follows you. Lead yourself like a warrior and watch the rest of your life bend to that power.